Hello and welcome to Sobricks. I'm Adam and this is Sobricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at this Lego City Coast Guard Seaplane Polybag. It doesn't say that anywhere on here as far as I can tell, but this is set number 30225. It has 37 pieces, and I paid $8 for this polybag. I actually found this at an antique store, and I'm always keeping my eyes out for Lego at antique stores. I don't often find much. Being from 2013, it's not that much of antique, but it's still, you know, it's still old. It's 10 years old, and I don't know if this is from, you know, Europe or England or something, and I don't know exactly why it doesn't say the name of the set on here. I figured $8 was fine for this because it's age and it's not like too much above what a polybag goes for. And online, you could probably get them for around there plus shipping and whatever. And there were some online retailers which were selling this exact set for quite a bit more. So I thought I would take a look at this. It's been a little while since I've looked at like a set from that long ago, so I'm kind of excited to see what it is. It looks very simple, it looks very small, so as far as value goes, I'll sort of talk about that at the end, but in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so that is this Lego City Coast Guard Seaplane Polybag set from 2013. This is interesting. It feels like this still follows some maybe techniques or constraints that were maybe even, I don't know, it reminds me of older Lego for some reason. And I'm not like a Lego historian in the academic sense or anything like that, or a scholarly sense, but you know, from the Lego that I remember as a kid, that was from largely the 80s and 90s into the 2000s, and then this is 2013. Compared to like most of the sets that I've looked at on my channel, even ones, you know, I don't know, it just feels a little bit older, and I can't tell if it's because maybe the white is a little bit yellowed even though it was in a bag, but there's some choices in the design here that I don't know if Lego would do today. I think they might do this a little bit differently, so I'll kind of address those as I go, but the first thing to take a look at is the minifigure, because we do get one, and I believe this is a kind of Coast Guard you know, person. I don't know what they are called. So we have them here, just kind of a blue cap, blue pant leg, nothing on the midsection, nothing on the pants, nothing on the arms. They do have a flotation device here. We can see the head printing is nice. They have some really reflective sunglasses there, no alternate face. You can see the back of the torso here. They have a flotation device that's actually a little different color than some of the ones that I've gotten a little bit more recently, like for the fire rescue boat. Those are more of an orange. This is more of a yellow, it seems like, to me. And I'll pop that off so we can see the rest of the torso. They look like it's kind of like an official kind of Coast Guard officer or something like that. So they have like a button down with a pocket, maybe a badge over here, and so that is their Coast Guard uniform. So just the one minifigure in this set. It's a city minifigure. City minifigures are, you know, usually somewhat quote-unquote basic. Like plain legs is pretty common, kind of just a plain hat here is super staple. I think the torso is nice to get the accessory there, and so that's okay, and you know, it's all right. I think it's interesting when you can kind of see the gap of the neck because of how this sits on there. And again, I don't think Lego does that anymore. I think they have the head be able to go all the way down even when something is around the neck, or you don't see that gap there, which you can kind of see on this minifigure. And then the rest of the build is this Coast Guard seaplane here. So super small. It's a polybag set and super basic, but even some of the techniques and some of the instruction stuff really surprised me. It does have the classic Lego look here with a lot of exposed studs, which is great. Same down here, and even back here, like this feels, how square it is at the tail with these studs coming up, feels very like vintage Lego, even though this isn't that old, all things considered. That's something I noticed. I think one of the things I didn't notice is the piece used for like the skis or these skids here, or the feet, the flotation things, whatever this is, are these pieces that are I don't know what they can fit onto, like a Ratchet Technic type piece, or I guess Lego system type pieces too, but it's got this little joint here at the rear, and I don't know if Lego would do that, just leaving that kind of open and off like that now. I think they maybe would choose just a different piece for that or something. But when I'm looking at the bag and I'm looking at the instructions, I guess it's kind of blurred out because of some of the motion blur from like the propellers and just the quality of the image that's on the instructions and on the polybag. And I guess you can see it a little bit if you look really, really close, but I also think at first glance you might not notice that that's there. So that was a little bit interesting for me to see. We can see we have some like lights up front, super basic base here, not too many pieces used. Lights can, this is just clipped on so it can move. I thought it was interesting that they had you clip on the modified plate there with the clips onto the plate with the bar, and then put the translucent studs on there. I think it's pretty common for like little sub-assembly things or little things like that, especially when something has potential to like move around. You might put those studs on there before attaching it and clipping it there. You got some other translucent studs here, a green and a red one for different sides. The propellers can spin there, and then we have a steering wheel. We have a spot for the minifigure to sit. It's a little silly having a steering wheel. I wouldn't anticipate them having just a steering wheel that's the same as a like a vehicle, like a car, but I would anticipate more of a yoke or something like that, but that's okay there. We can get that. No canopy or anything there, which is interesting. We do have some like, binoculars, or this piece that can be binoculars. We also have a life preserver over here, which are just sitting on jumpers. And then the way to build the wings, I was also kind of surprised by, because you put this 2x4 plate on there, and there's kind of on this like step piece here is a 2x3 on the top. So then this like 2x6 is only on just these last two studs there, and then you put another 2x4 on top of that to like hold that down, and then the wings are really only attached on a couple studs as well, so they're attached to the two studs here on that plate, and then they're held down by this blue tile there, but not a ton of stuff to really make those feel like super secure. I was actually thinking that it was just kind of an interesting choice, and again, maybe something that they might not do as much anymore, but the overall shape of this, like having the square stuff here, having these joints exposed, a lot of the stud stuff, all that stuff to me feels very much like a vintage Lego set, or like an older style Lego set. Now, I like I say, I don't know exactly when certain changes to design philosophy or instruction booklets were made. I haven't tracked that all through or done the research necessary to talk about that. So it could be that this was this still feels very modern compared to sets from the 90s, for example, but for whatever reason, to me, this feels a lot different to the polybags that I'm seeing right now, and even just city sets and sets from other themes. Lego feels like they're a lot more refined, and just they have a lot more, I think, pieces at their fingertips to use in their repertoire, so to speak. And so there's maybe some choices that they weren't able to do back then that they are able to do now. I think the minifigure is fine for this set. I think the build is fine. This potentially could be a good toy. You know, as far as price and value for this goes, well, I suppose I'll show the extra pieces first. You get just a few extra of all the colors of the translucent, extra of the orange kind of cheese wedge there that's on behind the propellers. So just those 4 extra pieces. I paid $8 for this. I'm assuming when it came out, it was maybe a promotional thing, or was $5, or maybe in 2013, polybags were cheaper than that. I don't know exactly what this was. I can try to look, but you know, when I paid $8 for this, that was, I think, I was fine with it. You know, I was happy to have found it. I think in 2013, this was probably what I'm seeing on Brickset is that it was $3.99, so $4. And then at a certain point in the last 10 years, polybags have gone up to $5. So they used to be $4. Maybe they used to be even cheaper. So this was probably $4 retail. I paid about double that. But 10 years time, kind of finding it at an antique store where I felt like, yeah, potentially I could get it cheaper, but also there's potential that there's just not that many of them sealed, and they're sort of a limited item in that sense. So I decided to pull the trigger on it. $8, not terrible, not great. I definitely don't think this set is like worth $8. Like, I don't feel like I have $8 worth of Lego here necessarily, but it was part of the experience. It was part of like having this as being kind of a stopgap of a time when I wasn't getting as much Lego. It sort of is nostalgic. It harkens back to a time and some kind of elements of Lego building that I don't see as often. And that's just my personal opinion about it. It could be that all this stuff is very, very common. So, you know, the value is a little bit tricky on this just because of it has all this extra stuff going for it. And so I'm not really going to make a judgment of whether or not it is worth it. I think I can fairly say this isn't an $8 set here, but because the time that has passed and the availability of these and when and where I purchased it from, it seemed like it was okay to me. And I don't have buyer's remorse necessarily. I don't feel bad about picking this up for $8. So it's not too big of a deal, and it was nice to look at. So a fun little thing here, kind of interesting, and it makes me interested in going back and seeing maybe other Lego sets from 2013 and maybe from you know, even older sets. So I'll maybe look into that there. So this is okay. It was just an interesting little endeavor. So I think it's fine. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. And if you like my other videos, make sure you click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego City, maybe some more old sets like this, or retired sets, or long retired sets, or vintage sets, but also all different Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, sizes, price points, piece counts, UCS sets, to, you know, direct-to-consumer sets, to polybag sets, to minifigure openings, all just different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And if you want to support this channel and support my videos here, you can do that right here on YouTube with the membership, supers, and thanks, all of that wonderful stuff. Every little bit helps and it is appreciated, so thank you very much. And I still have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks, and over there you can get access to all my videos early before they're up publicly on YouTube. You can also get access to some exclusive videos, like for some of the stuff that I'll be doing, like for like direct-to-consumer sets, or like the big Rivendell set, or Ninjago City gardens and markets and stuff like that. So maybe consider checking that out. Again, every little bit helps and it is appreciated. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.